My name is Conor Cassara. We are at Park Place Chemists in East Hampton, New York. I'm a pharmacist, co-owner of Park Place. I'm from West Hampton, New York. I've lived there my entire life. I'm 25, so since '96. The first reaction when we heard about coronavirus is how it would obviously affect our business. How can we help? My father and I sat down and said how, with Park Place, he's the owner of Barth's Pharmacy, how with the locations we have and the amount of people we see, we're high traffic. We're the most accessible healthcare professional around. In a lot of cases, people can walk in and just say hi. They don't need to, have an appointment. So we were obviously concerned about the spread, but more so what we can do to help. People were reading a lot of information on the internet. Things were being used overseas. They were wondering access in the United States. There wasn't a lot known about those medications. At times, we knew just exactly what the consumer knew. Sometimes the patient knew before I had gotten the email that said, the advanced directive. So I think everyone was willing to just be there for us and understand that we were doing everything in our power. There was no clear directive. The only directive was being that we were an essential business. We were allowed to operate as normal, but with safeguards. We were just bringing medications out to people's cars. Everyone was wearing masks, gloves, and we were, running business as usual. They needed something, we delivered it, we dropped it off. Pre-pandemic, a lot of people would bring back medication bottles, and they would say, "Hey, these are my bottles. Can you refill them?" We just decided to do away with that for the time being, and instead of having to potentially touch something that was coming in from somebody's house, we decided that it would be best if they read us their name, date of birth. We can look up all the info, and we just gave them all new. It wasn't an issue of cost or anything. It's something that we normally do. I think the hardest thing to comprehend was, at the time, the hesitancy for people to pay in cash. Once people realized that what they were handling was actually currency that could have been anywhere in the world, it was like oh my God, we have to switch back to credit cards. We can only use a credit card. Be that as it may, with proper cleanliness, cash is okay, but it was a very eye-opening thing when people were talking about touching the mail, going to the grocery store, grabbing boxes, anything cardboard. They were saying that the virus was living on cardboard for longer than it would live on copper, aluminum, any metals, handrails. I don't think anybody could have been ready. Just from working at the amount of fielded phone calls we had to take, just questions, looking for information. I don't think anybody could have been ready for the added workload and the undertaking that it was working in this business, in this area during that time. We are always looking to serve new people. It doesn't matter where you're from. We definitely saw an increase in business as people started moving out here, and a lot of people seem to be here to stay. They seem to be happy here. We've had great interactions with people who are from the city, from Boston, from all over. There are a few instances I can think of, and usually it was the people who are not the long-time customers, people you've seen a couple times, and you say, "Oh, I wonder where has Mr. Person been?" And there is that concern. I actually have one instance of somebody working west of here in one of the Barth's pharmacies of an instance like that. Very sad. I still haven't heard from him, the person. I couldn't get in contact with them. I looked relatives and just to simply ask if the person was okay, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to make that contact. The independent pharmacy world is incredibly different from the big chain pharmacies, CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid. Like I said before, we are the most accessible person. The CVSs have glass up, they have chain doors, they have keep away type feel. The pharmacy here, you're in a healthcare building, we're in the middle of East Hampton. You can drive from anywhere in the state and come here and talk to us. We're right here, and we don't shy away. I think that it made it almost harder being an independent pharmacy because we wanted to do everything we could to help everybody, and I think we spread ourselves very thin in order to do so. I think now we've helped a lot of people through vaccinations. With the Barth's pharmacies, we vaccinated over 5,000 people. That's shots 1, 2, and 3 now, so it's more about 15,000 shots, which is an incredible feat for another small independent business. But I think I think the willingness to help is incredibly different. I think you cannot get the same service that you will get at an independent pharmacy that you will get at a big chain store. I would just say challenging. It's like I said, we did everything we could here. We did everything we could with the Barth's pharmacies to serve the community and be there. I think that the challenge came with great personal gratification, because at the end of the day, we knew that we were going to work and doing a good thing, something that other professions were forced to stay at home. We had to come to work. There is no stay at home when you're working in a pharmacy. So challenging to adapt, but very, very fulfilling at the end of the day.